Already.
So high priest Ariel, he false prophesied the 12 tribe chart, which is a lie. So they tell you they got Ephraim and Manasseh on the 12 tribe chart, but Ephraim and Manasseh is not the 12 tribes according to the Bible. The Bible is going to tell you who the 12 tribes are. So let's go to Genesis 49. Go ahead.
This is Genesis 49 and verse 1. And it reads, And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together, and hear ye, sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed. Then is defiled thou it, and went up to my couch.
Right. So that's Reuben when he had slept with his father's wife, I believe Bilhah. So he got demoted as a tribe. Reuben is who they believe is the Seminole Indians, but Reuben is one of the tribes of Israel. Go ahead, King Judah.
Verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren.
All right.
Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
King Judah, can you do me a favor? Can you just go down and name the tribes in every verse? Like, we ain't even got to read it all. I just want you to name all the tribes in the verse as we go down, and it tell you who the 12 tribes are. And y'all clearly see Ephraim and Manasseh is not one of the 12 tribes. That's one of the biggest errors on the chart, because the 12 tribes who should be on the chart, it should be Joseph and Dan. Go ahead, King Judah.
So you just want me to name them?
Just go down and name them. All the verses in this chapter.
I got it.
The names of the tribes, please.
Verse 5, Simeon and Levi. Verse 8, we got Judah. Verse 13, Zebulun. Verse 14, Issachar. Verse 16, we have Dan. Verse 19, we have Gad. Verse 20, we have Asher. Verse 21, we have Naphtali. Verse 22, we have Joseph. Keep going. Verse 27, we have Benjamin.
And read verse 28.
And verse 28, all these are the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is that their father spake unto them, and blessed them. Everyone according to his blessings, he blessed them. I didn't see Ephraim and Manasseh.
There you have it. So it clearly tell you who the 12 tribes are according to the Bible. But when West told y'all or gave us who they believe the 12 tribes are according to high priest Ariel. Ephraim and Manasseh is not the 12 tribes of Israel. Ephraim and Manasseh represents one tribe. The tribe of Joseph is their father. When you look at the 12 tribe chart breakdown, they tell you that Dan was added into the other tribes, which is a lie. Dan was not added into the other tribes. Dan is actually in Ethiopia upon the Elephantine Jews who claim that they are the tribe of Dan. They even have ancient writings in the Aramaic Torah showing that they're the tribe of Dan. So that's how you know, biblically reading out the Bible, that the 12 tribe chart is a lie.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahahakwarash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. And I want to deal with this topic of Ephraim and Manasseh not being a part of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, F.O.P.E going off again. All right. And this video here was done by the priest Amawan Gabar, GMS Awakening 144 Ha, Amawan Gabar. Subscribe, be edified. And, I saw, the apostles deal with this. This brother dealt with it. The brother Karatazah from GMS Vegas dealt with it. And other brothers as well. But the Spirit's on me to go into the topic as well. As you have these individuals from F.O.P.E, ever since they came back from their 2-year hiatus, their doctrine has been to just come against what they used to teach, all right, and nothing else. No prophecy, no comfort of the coming kingdom, all right, going to platforms of unbelievers like Sonetter to come against the truth. All right. And many Israelites do that. But that's neither here nor there. As we know, the scripture said in the latter times, they will not endure sound doctrine. All right. But cling to fables, lies, all right, misinformation, all right, separate themselves, oppose themselves, all right, and this is nothing new, all right. As the scripture said, what if some did not believe, as I just did a lesson on that, and the scriptures also speak about the incredulity, all right, and these individuals from F.O.P.E have shown themselves over the years to lack character, all right, and have horrible leadership skills. All right, as this dude, Shar Sham, I remember some years ago, he was arguing with another Israelite, and he put it out there, you know, your woman wants me to put my pickle in her mouth, you know, just childish. All right, Elder Quanath, another childish individual. And just black people who happen to know that they're Israelites, you know, and like many, they come amongst, you know, particular congregations, they teach. But these dudes happen to just disappear and pop back up, you know, with an anti-12 tribes chart argument. I remember they said that they were going to come with a 12 tribes chart. We've yet to see that. But going to the, you know, page of unbelievers, attacking the truth along with the likes of Vocab Malone and everybody else is the end thing. All right. So we're going to deal with the scriptures. Get a few points, and hopefully you brothers and sisters be edified. All right. Ephraim and Manasseh are not part of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. As a matter of fact, let's start here in the book of Proverbs. All right. 4:18, because, you know, Jake has been saying some crazy things of late, and it seems to be getting worse. You had one or these two individuals actually open their mouth to say, all right, that the name Yahweh is how you say I am in Hebrew. And nobody corrected them. All right. They said it boldly and confidently as if they knew what the hell they were talking about. And it was completely wrong amongst many other things. And I'm not saying F.O.P.E said that. All right. But as you listen to F.O.P.E, all right, they seem to have cast away the New Testament. If you listen to their argument, they're saying to hell with what's written in Revelation, the 7th chapter. But we'll get to that in just a minute. Let's start here in Proverbs, the 4th chapter, in the 18th verse. It says, but the path of the just is as a shining light. See, these dudes are walking in darkness. That's why they're stuck on this black thing. Where in the scriptures does it boast about, all right, all of the 12 tribes being black, and that would be the standard of who and what we should teach? Okay. We know that originally all of the tribes, all nations at one point were dark skinned. Okay. We know and understand that. All right. That's taught. We also teach when we get into the kingdom, all of the tribes will return. All right. To that, you know, dark to light brown hue. All right. But everything that's happened to us is a result of a curse and being scattered. So there's no way you can say the standard of being an Israelite is just being merely black. Okay. And black is what? Void of light. So to be in that black power, black to Africa, black this, black that spirit here in the latter days, show these dudes lack character, growth, leadership. All right. And ultimately they shouldn't be listened to. All right. However, as the Heavenly Father said, many shall follow their pernicious ways. And when you go to these guys' comment boards, you got men talking about F the camps. Okay. People who just sit on their ass all day waiting to hear or to see something and say something new just to have an argument. Then they start arguing with one another. It's just a bunch of black barbecue chicken, sweet baby Ray bullshit. That's exactly what these guys are on. Okay. But the path of the just is as a shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. And that's what the elect will be doing. Things will become more clear. These guys, here it is. We're close as we are to the end, and they're causing more confusion. Okay, here it is. We're close to the MOTB coming out. All right. And for years, F.O.P.E used to mock the mark of the beast, but You know, I remember a few years ago when they popped back up, they start saying, well, I mean, I think it could be that microchip, you know. So they're all over the place, man. I mean, you don't know what the hell these guys really believe in. You don't know what their stance is. You know, it's just a bunch of confusion, man. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. They don't even know that they're stumbling. You see? Let's read this in the NLT, and then we'll get into the lesson. NLT, but the way of the wicked is like total darkness. They have no idea what they're stumbling over. They don't even know that they're stumbling. The Lord has given them over to a reprobate mind. Okay? Let's get this word blackness. Okay? In the book of Jude. Okay? This is Jude, verse 11. Woe unto them, all right? Speaking of these individuals who came amongst the church. All right, these men that are crept in unawares. Okay, that's what Jude was writing about. And we're witnessing that very thing that he wrote about. I'll have to go into this chapter again. All right, woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain. Okay, because their sacrifice was rejected. All right, now they've become murderers. Now their whole mindset is to destroy. All right, those who are at the forefront of the teachings, all right, they're making their bodies a living sacrifice, going out on the highways and the byways, which none of these guys do. See, they just sit back, all right, and they want to ride and pull on the coattail of the prophets so that they can have something to argue about. But when it comes to establishing a platform and a standard of their own, they don't have it. See, and there's many individuals like that. They've gone in the way of Cain because they were rejected and the Heavenly Father, ain't dealing with them. Okay. Then pretty much their claim to fame is to be a murderer of the one that the Heavenly Father is dealing with, and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward. All right. To put a stumbling block in the way of Israel. Okay. There was a particular left-hand priest hired in the book of Numbers. All right, as the Israelites were on their way to the land of Canaan to, go and inherit the land as they were exodused out of Egypt. All right, the spirit was on them, and the heathen pretty much were like, we have to cast a stumbling block amongst these people so that we can separate them from their power, because they're too powerful. We can't do anything with them. So you have men in this spirit, the spirit of Cain. All right. Running after the error of Balaam for a reward. All right. And perished in the gainsaying of the core. These are spots in your feast of charity. These are spots. Okay. When you look at these dudes' videos, they get on for hours just talking shit, arguing. Okay. It's no sure foundation. They ain't prophesying of the kingdom of heaven. They're not telling you Esau, Edom's going to go down and where we are in prophecy. Damn, these dudes, F.O.P.E said one week that Esau was black. He wasn't white. So these dudes are all over the place. Okay? These are spots in your feast of charity. When they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. Clouds, and that's what these dudes do. They're feeding themselves without fear. They come amongst these congregations. They gather information. Okay, it's not predicated upon the fear of the Lord and really getting to the kingdom. They're fulfilling their own belly. They want to be black. They have a Negro-only Passover. What type of crap is that? So a chocolate Edomite can walk right up in there and he's good because he's black skinned. And there's a lot of chocolate Edomites. All right. Chocolate, light skin, all kind of Edomites who look like Israelites. You see? That's why the flesh profited nothing and the spirit is what's quickening it. Okay. It's the spirit that quickens the true believers, and that dictates what are Israelites. Okay. Those lively stones, the light shining in those lively stones dictate all right, who's an Israelite and who's not. That's the Urim and the Thummim, okay, which the high priest in the heavens is the dictator through the light that shines in those stones, okay. Clouds they are without water, carried away about of winds, trees whose fruit withereth, all right. Where's the F.O.P.E camps all over the world, okay, and the fruit that they do have, it withers away. Unprofitable, all right, without fruits, twice dead, plucked up by the roots, raging waves of the sea, foaming out their shame, wandering stars. It's just wandering all over, just wandering. To whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. And let's look up this word, wandering, okay, wandering. All right, that's the word says
Strong's G 4107, planetes. Planetes. Thayer's lexicon, related entry, planes. Planes.
a wonder, wandering stars. All right, and you go to the root word, planos, a wonder, roving, misleading, leading into error, a vagabond, tramp, imposter. They are some tramps. A corrupter, a deceiver, and that's exactly what these individuals are doing. And F.O.P.E ain't the only ones. So anyway, let's get into the topic. As you saw, they read in Genesis, the 49th chapter, as they said, all right, because you don't see Ephraim and Manasseh in this chapter, they're not of the 12 tribes of Israel, which is absolute madness. Okay, because when you read Genesis, the 49th chapter, all right, you're going to see Dan. Okay, and as you see here, all right, verse 22, you see Joseph, all right, which Joseph, all right, handed down his inheritance, all right, to his two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which is why you have to go a chapter before, okay, to get that understanding. Let's go ahead and get Genesis, the 48th chapter, Israel's last days, all right? And by Israel, it means Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. His last days before he passed away, okay, he was reunited with his son Joseph, who the rest of his sons, all right, pretty much set up to eventually be sold off into slavery in Egypt, all right? But the Lord worked a work through Joseph, and pretty much the preservation of the 12 tribes came through him, all right, which is a story you should read up on and understand, because Joseph's integrity was very, very important and dear to us even being here today. We could have been through, all right, had Joseph been offended, all right, and took vengeance. It could have messed up the whole inheritance of the 12 tribes of Israel, you see. But he kept his integrity, and ultimately through a famine, you know, Jake was covered in Egypt. But you can read up on that story on your own, all right, because here, this is Genesis 48:1, and it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, behold, thy father is sick, and he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, all right, Manasseh being, you know, the firstborn of the two, okay, and one told Jacob and said, behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee. And Israel strengthened himself and sat up on the bed. So this is when Jacob was about to die. All right. He was in his older age. He had been through all kind of hell, traveling. You know, the Lord took Jacob, you know, through a whole hell of a lot. So verse 3 said, and Jacob said unto Joseph, God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me. And he said unto me, behold, I will make thee fruitful, all right, and multiply thee, and I will make of thee a multitude of people, and I will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. And that land is the land which was promised unto Abraham, all right, passed down to Isaac, and it fell upon the head of Jacob, which he's passing down that inheritance unto the 12 tribes of Israel, all right? And you have to understand, as an Israelite in this time, the remnant were foretold to be raised up to be heirs to that promise. See, that's why you waking up, because a remnant, all right, are going to be restored to that land to fulfill that promise that was given unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. He said to you and your seed after thee. You see that? Which, Christians will say, all right, this promise is broken and now everybody can, have inheritance. No. So let's listen. Verse 5, and now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt by a heathen woman, might I add, before I came unto thee in Egypt, are mine, as Reuben and Simeon shall be mine. Okay, let's read this in the NLT. Okay, so just as Reuben and Simeon are mine, okay, Ephraim and Manasseh are going to be mine. Let's read it in the NLT. Now I am claiming as my own sons these two boys of yours, Ephraim and Manasseh, who were born here in the land of Egypt before I arrived. They will be my sons, just as Reuben and Simeon are. They will be my sons, just as Reuben and Simeon are. Okay? Let's keep reading. And thy issue, which thou begettest after them, shall be thine, and shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance. In their inheritance, which is why when you go to the inheritance that was parted amongst the 12 tribes of Israel, okay, you don't see the name Joseph. Okay, Joseph is fulfilled in Ephraim, as you can see here. Manasseh, all right, which got a double portion. All right, they got a double portion. They were blessed because of the importance of Joseph. All right, his sons Ephraim and Manasseh, all right, were blessed, all right, with an inheritance as one of the 12 tribes of Israel. You see, Ephraim and Manasseh, okay? And Joshua, as we'll show you, he was of the tribe of Ephraim, all right, which represented one of the 12 spies who went to spy out the land. They are of the tribes of Israel. Okay, these guys are unstudied and they don't understand the Bible, and they're just talking, as many of these individuals are doing. They're just talking. Okay, let's keep going. So let's read this again. Let's read this in the NLT. Okay. But any children born unto you in the future will be your own. All right. They're going to be, of your own. But Ephraim and Manasseh, all right, I'm going to take unto me as my own. I'm adopting them. And they will inherit the land within the territories of their brothers, Ephraim and Manasseh. All right. So the other children, if Joseph had other children, all right, they wouldn't be accounted as tribes. All right. But they would have inheritance rights, all right, in the territories of their brothers, Ephraim and Manasseh. Ephraim and Manasseh, all right, received the portion of inheritance, all right, that Joseph got, all right, which was a what? A double portion. Okay. And as for me, when I came to Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way, and when yet there was but a little way to come unto Ephraim, all right, which was pretty much what Bethlehem is, I buried her there in the way of Ephraim, all right, the same as Bethlehem, you see, which is, where, David, Solomon, Yahushai were born. All right. This is that land that pretty much, Boaz redeemed along with Ruth. All right. It's just some history. All right. Rachel was buried in that land. Okay. And a bunch of our forefathers and foremothers were buried in that land. It says, and Israel beheld Joseph's sons and said, who are these? Because he was blind. Okay. And Joseph said, well, he was going blind. And Joseph said unto his father, these are my sons, whom God have given me in this place. And he said, bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. And now the eyes of Israel or Jacob were dim for age. All right. He was losing his sight so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel or Jacob said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, God have showed me also thy seed, because Jacob thought Joseph was attacked by an animal and put to death. All right, if you go into the history, all right, the brothers, they were jealous of Joseph because Jacob loved them so much. So they pretty much set it up to where he would be sold off into slavery. But they went back and told Jacob, all right, that Joseph, was, taken by a wild animal or something like that and put to death. So Jacob, all of these years, thought that Joseph was dead. Okay. So Jacob is getting ready to bless Joseph with a double portion, but it's going to fall on the heads of his sons. All right, Manasseh and Ephraim. Okay, let's keep reading. And Joseph brought them from out between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand and towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. Okay. And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did walk, the God which fed me all my life long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads. Let's look up this word angel real quick. So just get a little insight of what's happening here. The angel, all right, which that angel was always there. All right. Malak, messenger, representative, messenger, angel, the theophanic angel. Okay. Who's that? And it's you notice this angel, right, is a capital angel, capital A. All right. That's Yahweh Shai. Okay. Who was there the whole time, if you have ears to hear. Okay. The angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them. Come on now. Let's read this in the NLT. Oh my goodness. Come on, F.O.P.E. I mean, and after hearing something like this, why is there any, it doesn't even make any sense to take these guys serious, man. The angel who has redeemed me from all harm. Who's that, F.O.P.E.? May he bless these boys. May they preserve my name and the names of Abraham and Isaac, and may their descendants multiply greatly throughout the earth. So may they preserve his name. He adopted them as his own. See? And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head, because Manasseh was the firstborn. All right. Now the firstborn of these two, because the true firstborn of all of the tribes is Reuben. All right. Who pretty much made a horrible mistake. All right. Therefore, his rights as the firstborn, all right, were, taken away. All right. But as you can see, Reuben has an inheritance. Okay. But of all of the tribes, Ephraim and Manasseh have the biggest portion. All right. Now, Manasseh did receive, more of a inheritance. Look at that inheritance that he got, and look at what Ephraim got. But Ephraim, all right, as far as leadership and importance to the nation of Israel, all right, is the head of the northern kingdom. That's why the Bible talks about the reunion, all right, of Judah and Ephraim in the latter days. Why wouldn't Ephraim be one of the 12 tribes of Israel? Okay. When you see Joseph, okay, That is symbolic and representative of Ephraim and Manasseh, and sometimes is representative of all of the northern kingdom. Okay, as Ephraim is the head. Okay, and there's various scriptures that goes into the fact that Ephraim is a tribe. We're gonna keep reading though. All right. And Joseph said to his father, "Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thine right hand on his head." And his father refused and said, "I know it, my son. I know. He shall become a people, and he shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he." Ephraim. Ephraim was the younger of the two, Ephraim and Manasseh. "And his seed shall become a multitude of nations." See? And he blessed him that day, saying, In thee shall Israel bless, saying, God make thee as Ephraim and Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. Let's read this in the NLT. And we can pretty much close the lesson, but I'm going to go through a few other precepts. So Jacob blessed the boys that day with this blessing. The people of Israel will use your names when they give a blessing. They will say, may God make you as prosperous as Ephraim and Manasseh, in the way Jacob put Ephraim ahead of Manasseh. Okay. It says, and Israel said unto Joseph, behold, I die, but God shall be with you and bring you again into the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given thee one portion above thy brethren, okay, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow. Okay, just like David took down nations. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go to this in the NLT. It says, and beyond what I have given your brothers, I am giving you an extra portion of the land that I took from the Amorites with my sword and bow. So this is why Ephraim and Manasseh, when you look at that, and that portion it's a lot more than any of the other tribes. Okay. Now, when you go into the next chapter, this is what F.O.P.E read. All right. And you see that when you get to the point here, Joseph is just named. So this is their claim to say Ephraim and Manasseh shouldn't be on the chart, right? So from here, let's go to the book of, let's go to Numbers. Okay. When we were spying out the land before we were going to inherit the land that was promised unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and parted amongst the 12 tribes. All right. And Levi didn't get a portion because they were the priest. Okay. These are the names of the particular individuals that represented the tribes. Okay. Numbers 13:1, and Moses spake, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, send thou men that they may search the land of Canaan, which is the land of Israel. It was called the land of Canaan because the Canaanites were there, but the land truly belongs to the Israelites. Okay. That's why Melchizedek was king of Salem, Jerusalem. That land really is ours. However, for the story's sake, heathen did inherit it for times and times. It says, send thou men that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them. The tribes of their fathers, right? And Moses commanded, all right? And Moses, by the commandment of Yahweh, sent them from the wilderness of Paran. All those men were heads of the children of Israel. And the names, all right, as you know, they just read, okay, Genesis 49, right? To prove that Manasseh and Ephraim have nothing to do with the 12 tribes, and that it should be Joseph and Dan. It says, and these were their names. The tribe of Reuben, all right, had a representative. The tribe of Simeon had a representative, all right. The tribe of Judah had Caleb, all right, a notable name, all right, which Vocab Malone says is an Edomite, which even amongst the tribes, okay, Issachar couldn't inherit what belonged to Simeon. Simeon couldn't inherit what belonged to Benjamin. Okay, but then Esau is going to get an inheritance amongst the 12 tribes of Israel because Caleb is an Edomite, according to Vocab Malone. This is the nonsense and madness we have to deal with. This is the stuff we have to deal with, and these people are dead serious. Caleb is an Edomite. Okay, this is the first covenant now. You know, in which, you know, Christians, you know, they always, well, the first covenant was for Israel only. We get that, but the second is for everybody. Then they'll come back and say, well, Caleb was an Edomite, so the heathen were a part of the first. Like, come on, man. Caleb wasn't no damn Edomite. Caleb represented the tribe of Judah. Okay, and when we left out of Egypt, the Edomites were giving us hell. Okay, the Edomites and a tribe of the Edomites, the Amalekites, attacked us. They were the first nation to attack us, and the Edomites wouldn't allow us to go through their land. But then one of them just so happens to get lucky enough to be amongst the 12 spies that represent the Israelites to go inherit the land and spy the land out. Anyway, of the tribe of Issachar, they had a representative. Of the tribe of Ephraim, Joshua, the son of Nun. All right. Or at this time, it was Hawashai. All right. Moses, as you're going to see, changed his name to Yahawashai. Now, let's look up this word Ephraim. Okay. The tribe of Ephraim. Okay. Aparium. All right. Means fruitful. Aparium. Ephraim, all right, I shall be fruitful. It means fruitful, okay? Pariah is fruit, okay? Fruitful, all right? Aparium, okay? But it says here double ash heap. I don't know nothing about that, all right? Fruitful, okay? Aparium, second son of Joseph, blessed by him and given preference over the first son, all right? Manasseh, okay, the tribe of Ephraim, sometime used, all right, a used name for the northern kingdom, all right, in the book of Hosea or Isaiah, in other books as well, all right, but there you go. So let's go back. Okay, so as you can see, for the tribe of Ephraim, you have Hawashai or Oshea, the son of Nun, which is Joshua. Moses changed his name to Yahawashai. Okay. It says, of the tribe of Benjamin, you had a representative. Of the tribe of Zebulun, you had a representative. Of the tribe of Joseph, namely of the tribe of Manasseh. All right. So in Joseph is fulfilled Ephraim and Manasseh, and that's why they're likened unto the half tribe. All right. You'll notice in the scriptures, it's the half tribe of Manasseh, because Ephraim and Manasseh count for Joseph. See? And we'll show you that. It says, of the tribe of Dan, you had a representative. Of the tribe of Asher, you had a representative. Of the tribe of Naphtali, you had a representative. Of the tribe of Gad. These are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy out the land. And Moses called Hawashai, the son of Nun, Yahawashai, as he was going to be like a type of Messiah to lead us into the promised land. Now that's not Yahawashai in a prior incarnation, all right, but the name represented what Yahawashai is going to do, all right. And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan and said unto them, go ye this way southward and go up this mountain. So they went to spy out the land of Canaan for the purpose of gathering it for an inheritance. Okay, because the land was promised to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob. Okay, and that fell upon the lot of the 12 sons, which Ephraim and Manasseh were adopted as tribes within that. They represent Joseph. That's why each are likened unto half tribe, the half tribe of Manasseh. Okay, as a matter of fact, if you just type in half tribe, okay. Yep. because before they went and possessed the land, Moses, right here in Numbers, the 13th chapter. As a matter of fact, I have that up as one of the precepts. Numbers, the 34th chapter. What I'll do is start at 13. Okay. And this chapter was the instruction for up proportioning Canaan, all right, amongst the 12 tribes. Okay. Which we know the Levites didn't get a portion because they were the priest. All right. But when you go here, Moses commanded the children of Israel, Numbers 34 and 13. And Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying, this is the land which ye shall inherit by lot, which Yahweh commanded to give unto the 9 tribes. Okay. What are the 9 tribes? Judah, Simeon, Benjamin, Dan, Ephraim, Zebulun, Issachar, Asher, and Naphtali. Okay. The 2 half tribes make up Joseph, all right, Ephraim and Manasseh. And then you had, of course, the Levites, which if you look at this map, all right, and of course, this is the first covenant. Okay. It will show you how it's going to be divided in the second covenant. But as you see, the Levites didn't get a portion because they were the priest. They dwelled in the outskirts, But that's another lesson for another time. Okay, going back to Numbers, all right. And Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying, this is the land which ye shall inherit by lot, which the Lord commanded to give unto the 9 tribes, and to the half tribe. For the tribe of the children, you see that? And to the half tribe. All right, who is the half tribe? Ephraim and Manasseh. All right. And the tribe of the children of Reuben, according to the house of their fathers, the tribe of the children of Gad, of the house of their fathers, have received an inheritance. The half tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half tribe have received their inheritance on this side of Jordan near Jericho. And it keeps going. All right. You can read this history. But let's see here. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, these are the names of the men which shall divide the land unto you. Eleazar the priest. All right. And that's the son of Aaron, Moses' brother, the high priest. And Joshua, the son of Nun. Okay, these are the ones who ultimately were set up, okay, as the leaders, which Joshua is of what tribe again? He's of the tribe of Ephraim. Okay. The Ephraimites are of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. The Lord even chose an Ephraimite, Joshua, the son of Nun. All right. Let's look up him to get a little bit of backdrop on him. All right. And there's so much happening in the world, but we still got to, go into these things as well. All right. And this is his real name right here. Yahweh. See that right there? Because here it has Yahweh Shawai, which is close, but that's not it. The true name is Yahweh. He is the Savior. All right. Moses changed his name to that because in the beginning of it, his name was just Hawashai. Okay. Anyway, Yahweh is salvation. All right. It means he is salvation. All right. Son of Nun of the tribe of Ephraim and successor to Moses. All right. As their leader of the children of Israel, led the conquest of Canaan. All right. Boom. The tribe of Ephraim. So the Lord chose someone who's not of the 12 tribes to lead the 12 tribes into the promised land. Okay. And ye shall take one prince of every tribe to divide the land by inheritance. The names of the men are of the tribe of Judah, Caleb, all right, of the tribe of Simeon, Shemuel, of the tribe of Benjamin, Chislon, of the tribe of the children of Dan, Buki, the son of Jogli, Let's see this name. Let's see what this name means. I'm just curious. I never saw that name. Or if I did, I just read over it. Bakya. Okay. Wasting. Anyway, the prince of the children of Joseph for the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Haniel, the son of, all right, of Pod. Okay. It says, in the prince of the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel, the son of Shipton. So there you go. I mean, we can keep reading. Then you got Zebulun, Issachar, Asher, Naphtali. These are they whom the Lord commanded to divide the inheritance amongst the children of Israel in the land of Canaan. So what is this guy talking about? What is this guy on? He's a failure, I tell you. Okay. So Moses commanded, okay, Joshua, all right, and Eleazar to set up these 12, all right, to part inheritance amongst the 12 tribes of Israel, man. All right. And you can get that in Joshua, the 13th chapter. Right. Canaan divided amongst the tribes, man. And you can read this chapter. Okay. I mean, just read through it. You know, we ain't gonna go all the way through it, because pretty much the point has been proven. All right. And Moses gave, verse 29, and Moses gave an inheritance to the half tribe of Manasseh. This was possession of the half tribe of the children of Manasseh by their families. All right. Verse 33, but unto the tribe of Levi, Moses gave not any inheritance. The Lord God of Israel was their inheritance, as he said unto them. Okay. And then the next chapter, you know, and these are the countries which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar, the priest, and Joshua, the son of Nun, and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel distributed. So we just broke that down to show you this is a fulfillment of what Moses told them and commanded them to do. Okay. By lot was their inheritance, and as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses, for the 9 tribes and for the half tribe. The half tribe, all right, would be who? Ephraim and Manasseh, all right, which get Joseph's inheritance. And they're accounted as, all right, the tribes of Israel. You see that? So you're wrong, Sharsham. All right. On that point alone, why should we even listen to you anymore? Why should we go forward? Okay. For Moses had given an inheritance of the 2 tribes and a half tribe on the other side of Jordan, but unto the Levites he gave no inheritance. In the 2 tribes in verse 3 is speaking of Gad and Reuben, which when you read the previous chapter, okay, Joshua 13:8, it describes that, I believe. Yep. And who the Reubenites and the Gadites have received an inheritance and so forth. Okay. And then you go back here, Joshua 14, all right, and 4. All right. And it keeps mentioning the Levites have no inheritance to give way, all right, for the double portion that was given unto Joseph. You see, because Reuben had to forfeit, you know, the birthright of the firstborn. Okay. And all of the tribes pretty much, you know, gave their portion for the Levites. So the Levites didn't have any part in the inheritance. All right. To make way pretty much for the double portion that was given unto Joseph. Okay. Joshua 14:4. And the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. Okay. See that? Because there was a double portion given unto Joseph. Therefore, they gave no part unto the Levites in the land, save the cities to dwell in with their suburbs for their cattle and their substance. Because the Levites had to focus. They had to be away. Okay. They were dealing with the temple duties, high priest sacrifices and all that. They had to be focused. They had to be away in the suburbs. Now, let's read this in the NLT. All right. It says the descendants of Joseph had become two separate tribes. All right. When it came time for inheritance, Manasseh and Ephraim, and the Levites were given no land at all, only towns to live in, the surrounding pasture lands for their livestock and all their possessions. Okay. So there you go. Let's go back. I mean, and you can pretty much keep reading this. All right. And the Lord commanded, as the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did, and they divided the land. I mean, you can keep reading this. I mean, we pretty much proved the point, you know, and when you get, you know, the book of Revelation, all right, it gives you the 144,000, all right, which let's read off the names. All right. Now, is F.O.P.E saying this is not true? All right. Because you notice you don't see Dan here. All right. But you do see Levi mentioned. All right. Which Alazar says in the kingdom of heaven, you know, Levi ain't going to have any inheritance. And they're going to be, you know, all 12 tribes are going to be priest. Okay. The 144,000 all will be high priests after the order of Melchizedek. Going to be kings and priests and reign on the earth. Now, as you notice here, if you read the names Judah, Reuben, Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh. All right. Manasseh. All right. Simeon, Levi. Okay. Because when we return unto the land, we're going to impart inheritance amongst the 12 tribes. And then we're going to go throughout the four corners of the earth and set up shop. Okay, but you know, we're going to return to that promised land. All right. But as you can see, Issachar, Zebulun, and then it says of the tribe of Joseph, all right, which is Ephraim, were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000. So you don't see Dan. All right. So do we force Dan in there, or do we deal with what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai left us? Now, to speak to the tribe of Dan and why they're not there, okay, the best way to go about that is this. Let's get the book of Salakia. Let's get the book of Revelation, the 10th chapter. Revelation, the 10th chapter, as John was writing. Okay. Revelation 10:4. And when the seven thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up the things which the seven thunders uttered, and write them not. Okay. So there were particular things. All right. Just as when Moses received the Torah, there are the particular things he didn't write. All right. So do we force the history of Enoch by going into this book of Enoch? All right. And there's particular things that weren't written. All right. Here. Okay. And there's a lot of things that we don't have. Okay. But what we do have, all right, we believe wholeheartedly in. We believe in the volume of the book. Okay, let's read this in the NLT. Okay, because we just have to wait. Okay, when the seven thunders spoke, I was about to write, but I heard a voice in heaven saying, keep secret, all right, that the seven thunders said, and do not write it down. All right, so there's particular things we just don't know, and we're not going to know until the kingdom comes. But we have 100% of what we do need to get to the kingdom of heaven. All right. Again, we know in part and prophesy in part. All right. But the Holy Spirit that has been sent from on high is 100% of what's needed to get to the kingdom. OK. And the tribe of Dan, all right, would have to be either dispersed amongst, you know, the other tribes, or the Lord will let us know why they're not mentioned once we get into the kingdom. We just have to be patient on that. But what we do know is that right here in Revelation, the 7th chapter, it gives you the order of the 12 tribes that's going to, you know, pretty much return to the land. All right. Because the return to the land is fulfilled in the reunion of Judah and Ephraim. Let's get that in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. Okay. See, the reunion of Judah and Israel, or Judah and Ephraim. The word of the Lord came again saying unto me, Son of man, take thee a stick and write up on it for Judah and the children of Israel, his companions, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and take another stick and write it up on for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and all the house of Israel, his companions, the northern kingdom. Right? Because ultimately they're going to be joined together. Okay, so why would the Lord use the stick of Ephraim for the reunion of the tribes if Ephraim ain't of the tribes? You dudes are crackheads, man. Okay, and crack is whack. Okay, and join them together, another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. This is the 12 tribes chart. We always go into this. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, will you show us what thou meanest by these things? Okay, then shalt they say unto them, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, the northern kingdom, and I will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick in mine hand. All right. And what is the purpose of this? Okay. That we return unto the land. We just jump to the point. All right. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given them unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever, and my servant shall be their prince forever. See, the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, where your fathers have dwelt, all right, ye shall dwell therein. All right. And the way we're going to dwell therein starts with the leadership under Yahweh Shai, the 144,000, which we know the 12 are going to be at the head of that. Okay. And these are the names of the tribes, or how we're going to return to that land. But as you can see here, Levi is mentioned now amongst the ones who get a portion. All right. And then you have the large multitude that's going to come up under them, which are Israelites from all over the planet Earth that are going to be delivered, man. Okay. So this concludes the lesson. All right. I don't know what in the hell this dude is talking about. All right. And pretty much it's the same garbage. All of the tribes are black. All right. The northern kingdom is only in Africa. Only Judah is in the Americas. You know, these dudes are through at the end of the day, you know, but if the spirit hit us, you know, we'll continue to deal, you know, if we see points that need to be edified on. And we're going to keep going. You know, may the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai be bestowed upon you brothers and sisters, and hopefully you receive this edification and it built you up in your understanding. And we're going to get into more. All right. Lord willing. Hopefully I'll edify. Shalom.